Here we are. I'll try it one more time. And here we are. There's a little bit of a delay. There's a little bit of a delay. I think an open is appropriate because you don't really know what's going to happen. There's a little bit of like a runoff with the beginning of these things. Let's see. Is the volume up? The volume is up. It is Monday, January 15th, 2024. And we are on episode 31 of the Conformity Farm stream. And we are we're still in the weeds for the book. I got some really good work done on Saturday. Spent probably around 6 to 8 hours in this very seat, in this very sedentary lifestyle. I was listening to some of the podcasts, and I noticed that I pop a lot, which means I'm kind of talking too close to the mic. So some adjustments will need to be made, but I think I open up every single episode by talking about the adjustments that need to be made and not really making them too much. It's probably hard to hear for the mic to pick up, but I have several radiators hissing in my apartment here in the city of Chicago, where the temperature is negative 12 degrees. And just to give you some sort of insight to what my routine is like, I live in a neighborhood a little west. It's in Chicago, but it's a little bit west of the city, and I take the train into downtown, which is where I work. I work in this area called the Loop, the West Loop. And I take a train up there, and what I would do is I would take my bike, and I would ride the bike for probably about 4 or 5 minutes maybe to the train, lock it up, take the train. The train probably takes 15 to 20 minutes. Get off the train and then walk like another 8 minutes. And so that's my routine. But over New Year's, I was socializing a little bit and kept my bike locked up. And would you know it, someone stole the bike. But here's the other thing they don't know. I had allowed my bike to get so dilapidated, just the tension on the chain in the back tire, so dilapidated that if you put too much torque on it, the chain would pop. So the person who stole the bike is actually going to have to do some work on the bike. And I'm not sure if those are the same kinds of vessels that wander amongst us, those who fix things and those who steal things. Maybe they are. It'd be a pretty dangerous person, actually. Okay, what can we do? Let's bring this down a little bit because it looks like it's peaking every once in a while. And I'm going to be right on top of the mic. Let me look at that. Check. All right, looks pretty good. Let me see. Is there anything else that I can dispel? Today is Monday. A lot of people were working from home in the city of Chicago. I did not. I actually have a total within a work day of about 45 minutes of walking, given my situation, which is it's about a 15-minute walk to the train and back. So there's a half hour there. And I also go to a gym after work. It's a rock climbing gym. And so I got to walk there. All right. So I thought about it a lot, about how, what I'm going to do with this stream. And the one thing I do agree with is that because I don't just jump right into the drawing, that I should go on camera. So I do have a camera around here. I haven't pulled it out yet. It's so crazy. I cannot imagine what it's like to have a family because I have trouble finding enough time for all the things I want to do already. If I had a family, I wouldn't have time for any of that stuff. And so I couldn't imagine. I think I'd start to resent my children and subtly, mess them up maybe. Getting a little dark on the Conformity Farm podcast, which is kind of funny because a lot of the stuff that I make is kind of, I don't know if it's aimed for kids. I wouldn't necessarily say that, but it is really the demographic. All right. So how do I explain what's going on today? Okay. So what I did on Saturday was, and actually I can pull this out. What I did on Saturday was I looked at the entire book from a macro perspective, and it looks like this. And this is what the book looks like so far. It's about 240 pages. I plan on adding probably another, I don't know, hopefully another, hey, what's up, Haley? Hope you're keeping warm. I'm going to add probably another 100 pages to this. So hopefully, and I think I have enough material for that. Oh, let's make sure we got this right. Oh, who's on the YouTubes? Are we on the YouTubes? No. This is where it would be better if I was on camera. I think that the viewership would be a little more forgiving if I was on camera, because then you guys would know I'd be doing stuff. Oh, wow. Summer colors now. Stay warm too. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, some of them are colors. These have been put out. The ones in color, a lot of them in color are already released on Instagram. But anyway, yeah, we're going to add another 100 pages to this, probably 50 to 100. Oh my goodness. Come on, TJ. Let's get it together. Yeah, about 50 to 100 more pages. And I have some interesting ideas for this. But regardless, what I did was I isolated, so this is where it could get valuable. I isolated some of these drawings I have here are just literal single pages for entire story arcs, and I haven't gotten to them yet. So this week what I did was I took those pages. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pieces of exposition that need to be expanded upon. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go ahead and start expanding on one in particular that I really like. Is this owl god. This is pretty cool because it's a lot different than the stuff I normally do. And it's got a lot of work to do. So we can just dive right into this. Let's see. This and this. Very good. All right, hold on one second. I'm going to turn off my light. If I had a webcam, you'd know that. It's hard to get people to open up them tabs. But we got our loyal few. It's okay for now. Okay. So we have this. What do we got? We got somebody on Twitch. Maybe we could throw something out here. Ask for some tabs. See what we get. Anyway, now where are we at here? We are 12 minutes into the... Well, I guess that's not even true, too. We are actually about 8 minutes in. I think it'd be good if we just got going. Just keep drawing. Don't spend a bunch of time understanding things. Just keep drawing. Okay. So this guy needs more more detail in the face. So let's go for that. Oh, this is interesting because this needs to be a little bit more fine. Oh my goodness. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. Spend a lot of time drawing silly things and cute things. So it's nice to do some serious stuff. Just to switch it up. I'm really excited to wrap this story up. We're really getting towards the end. I have to make a few more decisions about some key plot points in the story, for the people who actually... it's interesting. There's two different types of people. There are people who love to read. So they love to read stories. And then there are other people who look at graphic novels and they don't read them at all. They just like the drawings. And I think that's a majority of the market. That's a big portion of the market. I think what a lot of people do is they look at the drawings, and if they really like it, they might go back and try to understand it more by reading it. So it allows them to have kind of two different experiences. But regardless, there are some comics out there that are not super well written, but look really cool, and that's a lot of them. And that's not a knock on those books. Oh, I think I was thinking about doing the old 3D modeling trick or 3D sculpting trick where you just do symmetry on both sides. So we're going to come around this face and really add more detail to it. Boy, am I in a good mood. The Lions won their playoff game. It looks like the Steelers lost. Just kind of interesting, the end of an era, huh? The whole league is a whole different thing now, which is kind of cool. I mean, those dynasties were getting a little much. I mean, Tom Brady was just winning forever, which was cool to watch, but kind of, you know what I mean? It kind of removed a lot of what makes sports exciting. That's what made me kind of get more into college football, because of I guess college football is maybe arguably worse with just a few number of teams. But now with the NIL and the transfer portal, we might be looking at something different now. Since I'm not doing anything, or I'm not saying anything, it might be good to put on some tunes. Let's see what we can get here. Don't want to upset the YouTube gods. It's interesting to move forward in this field because, you know, AI has really kind of given us an idea that there's possibly going to be an end date for really productivity and civilization in a lot of ways. Maybe not in my lifetime, but the world as we know it will be gone. It's kind of interesting because when you're young, you think, whoa, there I am. I'm right on top of everything. And then as you get older, you realize, like, oh, boy, that major revolutions are going to happen, and they're accelerating. And as crazy as people thought their lives were more advanced, but the new world is getting really interesting. Boy, would I love to talk about that in the chat. I would definitely have a conversation about AI. You know, what do we think it's going to? Because, like, you know, when AI first came out, it was actually terrifying. It caused some existential dread on my part. And then when I started working with the AI, I started to see it more as a tool, and I started getting excited for what it might be able to do for us, what I might be able to do for me. And actually, I don't want to announce anything on the stream, but I'm definitely thinking about taking Conformity Farm in a different direction. And AI has really, honestly, given me the confidence to make this shift. And so I've talked to people who are really close to me, people who, who are invested in this. And I said, what do you think? You know? And, most of the answers are generally like, it's on you, Timbo, whatever you want to do. So that's generally the answers that I get, but I'm not super great at asking for permission for things. So when I do, it's pretty novel. Okay, so here's the thing. I think this guy should have a beard as well. Now, it might be kind of misogynistic, whatever, but I think the aesthetic would work, and it would kind of keep going where we're going with this. So I'm actually going to go ahead and extend some of this hair. Really going to put myself in a bind, though, with this character design. I'm not sure if it's necessary. Maybe I'll keep pushing this side of the face forward. I think I'm going to do one side and then I'm going to duplicate it. And then I'll get in there and make it asymmetrical. You know, one day I'm going to go through these streams again and I'm going to watch them passively. I believe. Because it'll be interesting to go back and kind of see what I was thinking with this. Really afraid of laying down the black too much, but I think this might be good here. Trying to be specific about where I pick shadows and things like that. Whoops. Don't get too messy. I'm going to spend some time on this guy. These characters are pretty important. Just for the overall field of the world I build. There you go. Oh, wow, that turned out better than I thought it would. One little mark at a time. Don't get too overwhelmed by it. Just one little mark at a time. You'll get there. let's get into this beak a little bit. What can we do with the beak? Yeah, let's make his beak sharp. Yeah, there we go. Make the beak sharp. And then come in here and make these things good. Make them good. Yes, yes, yes. Wonder what people are doing on this snowy day, huh? Not even a snowy day, just that it's so cold, you know? I'm so glad I have this stream because honestly, this is the kind of drawing that I would struggle getting through because it's so detailed. I wonder... I might have to go in here and pull away some of this. Ooh, I kind of like the... Poppin' Prototype SP. Oh, hey there. Do I know you, Poppin' Prototype SP? That's a dope name. Oh, Poppington. Thanks for showing up, man. I appreciate it. Anything to push me up in the algorithm. The thing that really blows my mind about this stream is that people are watching it later. Now I can think of some people who might watch it. I saw one of my old coworkers pop up on the feed, and I know him well enough to know that he would say, "Hey man, did you know that our old coworker is streaming his drawings?" And then they would probably laugh about how lame it is. And then some people would be like, "I'll check that out." But it's not, I mean, this isn't like a riveting show by any means. I mean, the conversation is almost non-existent. That's why I got to get a webcam. But I am creating, and I do want to make memories of this. And in the meantime, I'm willing to have a conversation with the public, and therefore, all the things line up. So you can't, Nikola Tesla had a rule. He says, do not judge a new idea by its immediate results. I think that's really powerful, especially if it's something you really believe in. Yeah, I have no doubt about this. That'd be actually maybe the most interesting part of the posterity of the existence of these videos, is that I have absolutely no doubt that these will be relevant in the future. But today they are not. It's like, you know, buying Bitcoin when it's worth 13 cents. The day you bought Bitcoin at 13 cents, tomorrow Bitcoin was worth, the next day it's worth 11 cents. And a whole year goes by and it's worth $11. Wow, what do you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of have to, I feel like I'm talking to Alex. You know what I'm saying? He knows what I'm saying. All right, let's fill this in, get a little bit of a highlight, give this cheek a little bit of density here. You can't rush the fur. You just can't. Or the feathers here, rather. You can't rush it. You got to get through it. This is where AI would be really valuable, I think. AI would probably be really good at filling this in, saving me time. That's honestly, if someone was going to have an AI conversation with me, that's really where I think I would take it. I would say, you know, I think that AI is going to be a really nice tool. And I think that AI is going to bring us a really awesome world. You know, I just updated my iPhone, and you don't have to press a button to call Siri. Let me try it right now. Hey Siri, when does the next Spawn comic book come out? Because I gotta have a Todd McFarlane reference every stream.
Okay, I found this on the web for when is the next Spawn comic book come out McFarlane reference stream. Check it out.
Oh well, she was listening to me for too long. Hey Siri, when's the next time Todd McFarlane is going to be available to the public? I don't know, like C2E2 or something. Ah, she just gave me a link to the fan page. All right, Siri, that's it. Thank you. Anyway. So yeah, it's got a long way to go. Look at how amazing it is. Here's a link. That's interesting because I feel like the arm would actually kind of be like this. Some more. But I think the proportions can be off for this. It's a humanoid, but not exactly a human. Wonder if there's anything else we can put in here. I guess I could turn everything else into black, huh? Let's see how that looks. Let's try that out. This music might be a little too loud. All right, yeah, let's fill this in with black, see how it goes. Just check it out. So yeah, let's cover this guy in black. This is space. He's hanging out in space. I don't know why I wanted to give him antlers. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, I think he kind of works. I might have to do something else for the headdress, though. Masks are a really powerful tool. I kind of like the position of the fingers there. Let's drop the opacity down a little bit. Let's go to work on this this jacket he's got on here. I think the clever little curls are good, but he's got like two different layers. He's got this kind of a bear skin rug on. And that should probably come down more. Like this. come in here like this. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. And then I guess we could go underneath here and add some darkness, if you will. Looking good. Dang. Oh, Alex likes. Yeah, this character is a much different style. I should do a really serious story, something with these kinds of characters. Like humanoid, but like, you know, kind of honestly, Piranesi was very influential for me. The allegory of the cave, the Matrix, like that kind of stuff. Like, I love that stuff. And telling those kinds of stories, I think, is beneficial for society. It's kind of a Bertolt Brecht approach. It's really neat. Thanks, man. This is a god itself, so gotta have the god look very detailed. Maybe we'll come in here. Where are we gonna put some darkness? Maybe some darkness. Ooh, where are we going next? No, that's a little too much. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Piranesi actually expressed a concept or an approach to storytelling that I've always kind of had in my head. It makes me feel like I just need to read more and more, because Piranesi is definitely something I've had in my head. Not exactly like that. There are some differences. I thought the whole time Piranesi was a girl, right until the end. So that gives you an insight of how good of a reader I am. But yeah, the concept that perfectly good people are being manipulated and they have no idea is definitely a message that I'd like to get out. And I think that people get it. But it's kind of weird. I actually just saw a, what do you call that? Like a conspiracy theory. People are having conspiracies that Stephen Hawking was never a person, that Stephen Hawking wasn't real. And I don't know, that's a weird one for me. Then what's the other one? Helen Keller never existed, or they faked how smart she was. People in the middle of like nowhere, Ohio, are like, I'm pretty sure if there's anything I know, it's not how to build a business or raise a family, but the one thing I do know is figuring out frauds from 80 years ago. That's one thing I have a really good nose for. Get out of here, man. These people, they have to not run into someone like me, because guess what? Most people will vibe. They will choose to vibe, and they will choose to keep the vibe good and allow you to believe your bullshit. I don't think that way. That's why I'm harder to hang out with. That's why I don't get invited to as many parties. But I am what I am. I am what I am. Dude, I learned there's a conspiracy theory that the lottery is a trap to catch time travelers. What? I don't even know how that would work. To catch time travel. That's actually really good. If that were true, that would actually be brilliant. And I don't even know if that would be... I mean, who's going to catch them? Who's working on catching them? The question is, like, who are these people? Because I've been to City Hall. It's not full of a bunch of cunning, brilliant people. It's full of a bunch of normal-ass people. So let's not crumble civilization for the boogeyman. Because we're worried about the boogeyman. That would be a tough way to go. What happened to Rome? Didn't Rome decayed slowly because it didn't get taken over, but these like barbarians, or historically referred to as barbarians, ransacked the city, and it messed with the psychology of the society, so it started to slowly erode. I think that was the end of Rome. Rome didn't happen like, it wasn't like like something out of Age of Empires. It happened slowly. And a lot of people are speculating that's what's happening in our society, but I don't think that's the case. Our society keeps progressing. We're having a lot of problems, but there's a lot of progression. And we're so much farther along in the last 20 years. In some ways, it's really odd. Rome fell apart because after Caesar became a dictator, it could never become a republic again, and they had a series of inept dictators. Yeah. But even that chaos lasted for generations and generations. And they had a series of inept dictators. Yeah. I knew about that. I knew that Rome was like they had like 3 dictators in like 2 years at one point. And one guy actually in his lifetime was a dope dictator. Caligula made his horse the Speaker of the Senate. Yeah, or as like a general or something. Yeah, I heard about that. Oh, you know your Roman history. Well, that's too bad, Mark. My buddy Mark loves to talk about ancient Rome. It's kind of funny. They say how many boyfriends talk about Rome, or ask your boyfriend on camera how often he thinks about the Roman Empire. And I will say something, ladies. If your boy thinks about the Roman Empire, you got yourself a good one in my book. Because a lot of the guys I know that know about that stuff are almost like too good to even be dated. They're just not fuckboys. And eventually the Praetorian Guard would assassinate leaders to manage who was in charge to make sure their interests were served. Wow, that's fucked up, man. You know, it's kind of crazy too. Like our government in a sense is constantly fighting against the president, but that's always been happening. I don't know when that started, but it's always been happening. So I thought that our society was showing signs of decline, but I think it's just part of the democratic process, which allows people to yell at each other. I think the one that's really interesting is in England, where they roast each other. Oh, I can't believe the speaker would say that. He got here so quickly on his private jet as he burns fossil fuels. I hope, I don't know. I don't have anything cunning to say, but it is funny. The emperor's personal guards became a cabal that chose who got to be emperor. Wow. I've heard some of this stuff you're talking about. You know what the interesting thing about ancient times or ancient history is that when the Prussians came and ransacked Europe, they destroyed most of Western history. And the things that they kept were things from ancient Greece because they felt like it complemented Islam. And that would be Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Those are highly regarded in ancient Islam society. And a lot of people don't know that. We're kind of holding on to this stuff. I heard Stavros say on his stand-up comedy recently, and I'm just quoting him. He says that the only reason that white people still claim Greek is because they want to take claim to the ancient Greeks. That's just a comedian talking shit, though. He might be onto something. But I thought it was a funny thing to say out loud. I never had that thought, actually. It would make people... it's just a weird thing. Yeah. It's kind of a weird, kind of shitty thing to say. But he's a comedian. That's what they do. I think about being a comedian. You know what's interesting? I expect this book and this entire project to be done in April. Early April. And I'm not planning anything particular after that. For the first time in a long, long time, I'm not going to do anything until, I figure out exactly what I want. I mean, all right, I'm going to be a little bit honest. I am going to develop a movie, but that's a little different. Dude, let's write some comedy. We can get weird. Bro, Poppington, you have no idea. You know what's funny, too? Generally, when people approach me about stuff like that, it's kind of out of, in a weird... I don't know. For some reason, I don't really want to mesh with that. But since we've worked together, I know that our comedy is in the same vein. And the other thing, too, is a lot of the people that I know that are pursuing comedy-esque things, I mean, some people, they just, whatever. But a lot of people that I know, they want to be cool. They want to be cool in comedy. And I don't want to be cool, bro. I just want to be funny. You know what I mean? Who gives a fuck about being cool? I mean, it's cool to be cool. Don't get me wrong. But, get in your lane. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, Lieutenant. Oh, dude. Did I show you that one? Oh, I did show it to you. He was like, that's... I'm going to try to remember it right now. Actually, I'll play it out loud. What's the... Yes, sir. I love you. Say it. Say it. Say it. What if we just do yes, sir, thank you, sir? I showed that to one of my friends, and he was like, I don't know. He doesn't like it when I show him comedy, which is kind of like a weird thing for him in particular. Some shit we never saw, sir, never. Oh, they don't even have the whole scene. They just have that one clip. This one is. Oh, they only have a clip of it. So what if it's good news, mom's not dead. Good news. Oh, come on. I have to play it. You know what? I'll find it on my phone. Let's turn the music back on. Turn the music back on, and we'll find it on the phone. I'm actually going to find it right here. What would it be? How would I search that? Would be, I would say Tim Robinson. Mom's not dead. Mom isn't dead. Okay, here it is. Come on. Wait, what'd you say? Is it 23 seconds?
When I get home, Uncle Dave's not over, is he? Good. I freaking hate that guy. Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Yes, sir, Sergeant! Affirmative!
I don't know what that skit would be. I don't know what you would call that skit. Mom isn't dead skit. Yeah, see if someone. Affirmative! Yeah, Joey Diaz. I'm good on Joey Diaz. I'll do Tim Robinson. I've listened to Joey Diaz. He just makes jokes out of being a criminal. And that's, I mean, whatever. That serves a purpose. No, I can't find it. It's only, somebody just keeps clipping it out. All right, well, since I have it out, I'm actually going to, I'll play one that seems kind of funny. Oh, Spectrum Funerals. We'll do that one.
Spectrum is planning to drop 22 channels, including Corn Cob TV. They're saying by the end of 2022, Corn Cob TV won't be available on your cable menu. That means you won't be able to see some of your favorite Corn Cob TV shows, including Coffin Flop.
Coffin Flop.
They're saying they want to drop Corn Cob TV because we showed over 400 naked dead bodies on our show Coffin Flop.
I actually worked for a station that was cut like Corn Cob TV.
It's time to tell Spectrum, no.
Our best show was
They're saying
Gilmore
Coffin
Girls.
Flop's not a show. It's just hours and hours of footage of real people falling out of coffins at funerals. There's no explanation, just body after body busting out of shit wood and hitting pavement.
Hold on, I'll say after the skit's done.
They're saying it's impossible that many dead bodies are falling out of coffins every day. And it's impossible that one out of every 5 of them are nude. I don't know what to tell you, bud. We're just shooting funerals and showing the ones where the bodies fly.
That's so dumb.
They're saying, no way. You must have rigged something. I didn't do fucking shit. I didn't rig shit.
You know, I could do this part too.
I didn't fucking do this.
I'd be ready to be Tim Robinson. I would do it.
We don't have the permissions of the family. I said we don't need permissions of the family. We're allowed to show him nude because they ain't got no soul.
They ain't got no
Guys
soul.
at Spectrum think I'm just some dumb hick. They said that to me at a dinner.
Like, why be so specific?
Call Spectrum and say, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about any of this. There's worse shit on the local news. This world's fucking so fucked up. And people are mad mad at me because I showed a bunch of naked dead bodies with their spread blue butts flying out of boxes? Really? Do what you want.
Spread blue butts. Really? Oh my God. Okay, so if you now here's the one thing I will say. Traditionally, comedy is pretty cheap because the audience, they'll give you a lot of give on comedy. But what do we say? How long would a piece like that take you to finish? That would, that's a lot of coffins. You'd have that, then you have several locations. So it'd probably be one day of me in front of the camera delivering stuff. Probably have to have someone like Ben, or you need a really good camera operator to shoot it actually, because you need to kind of come in and out and be all over the place. And I know some guys in Ohio that would be really, really good for it, but they don't live out here, so they would make it the best. But Ben would do really good too. He just doesn't necessarily shoot that way. But yeah, you would probably have to build a coffin. I don't know if they use the same coffin over and over again, and then they just go to different places. I feel like that's 2 days of shooting. Is what it would take. A lot of hustling, so you need some people on board. You need a lot of hands, but a lot of people are willing to help out with stuff like that just to be around it. That's the cool thing about filmmaking when you're getting shit done. But yeah, dude, so it would be really interesting. I would love to do a skit show. That would be cool. Right? That's not insane. No, it's not insane. It's not that really crazy to talk about. I mean, I think the crazy part is probably having someone who can deliver those lines. Now, the thing that you would do, the special thing isn't the logistics of the production, because that's just business, right? Getting people together, and getting them together for some work. And, there are some things that get in the way creatively, but you just work with it. But I think the part where the money's really made is that when they signed up for that show, what they did was, or not the show, I'm saying this wrong. Let me start over. When they started, I got an idea for this drawing already. It's going to be nice. When they started, actually, let's merge this to make sure we're on the same plane. Give me 1 second. I'm drawing over everything. Okay. So, what was I talking about? Oh, the thing that makes what Tim Robinson's doing very similar to sports is the performance, in the moment performance. So what happens is that we would have a script of, okay, this is really funny. Let's shoot this. This will be great. And then what you do, once you get everything that you need, then you allow the talented people to improvise, and you make sure that it's matching. And that's why some of the stuff he says seems so absurd, because he's just coming up with the most absurd thing. You would say, why would anyone say that? Well, they would only say it if they had the entire production there and he had about 10 seconds to come up with it. That's really what the funniest stuff is. Funny is really hard to hold over the course of, I've probably said this at work at one time at BMT, but funny is difficult to hold over a long period of time. If you write something you think is hilarious and then all of a sudden you're reworking it, and then 6 months later, it just doesn't make you laugh anymore, because, a lot of humor has to do with timing and, how fresh it is and stuff like that. And so you have to have a really good instinct for comedy, and you have to really trust your instincts. And I trust my instincts. I do. That's what's nice about being my age. I've been around long enough to learn to trust my instincts, because I doubted them for a long time and it didn't serve me. And I realized I'm enough. But no, yeah, I used to work at a TV station where we used to buy syndicated shows and run ads on them. So you would try to find license deals for shows that you felt confident you could sell enough ads on that you could run a profit and pay everyone's salary and stuff. And that station, the most profitable show that they would get in syndication was Gilmore Gills. That sounds like Kelsey saying it. Gilmore Gills. No, Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls was really profitable. Yeah, man, we should schedule a time to riff some comedy. I would definitely be into that. It's something I really need. maybe we could do it this weekend. I'd be down. Also, how long will this drawing take to do? This particular drawing is going to take me a long time. So, I'm not sure. This drawing might actually take me all week because I'm still figuring it out. But I'm only drawing for, at least on stream, for about an hour a day. I think I'm going to start streaming in the morning too, before work. Just the mornings have been tough. Like, I'm definitely not going to do it tomorrow morning before I go into the blizzard. I just won't have it in me. Like, for example, since you asked, I'll say, so for example, I'm going to have to work a long time on this drawing, but here's a series of drawings here. These characters here I'm calling Lycas or Lumpkas, one of the two. But these are pillows that live in the deep, dark caves, and they have really big eyes. And if you can tell here, they actually look better if I don't do too much. Yeah, so the Owl God could take me weeks to finish, but these I can get done pretty much immediately. So there's a balance to what I'm doing. Here's some other stuff. This is exposition. Let's see if we got anything else. Here's the space cats freaking out on mud. Actually, this might be something to work on. What do I got? Oh, it's already 9 p.m. It's the end of the stream. I am gonna keep pushing. Let's draw a little bit more on these cats. Get some line work done on them. See what happens. What do we do here? We got this. I drop the opacity and I give it another shot. Yeah. The book is supposed to be adorable. It's a juxtaposition between really serious or really graphic, serious looking characters and cute, silly, simple line characters. Someone was telling me that Teen Titan does something similar in their style, and I'm going to have to look into it to see what they did, to see if there's something to gain from it. This would be an interesting character who doesn't get infected with the mud, but just is kind of like a casual politician. Yeah, the jaws start to disconnect when they're infected. Well, this could be interesting. Yeah, not bad. Maybe we'll erase this. Yes, but Poppington, let's have a writing session. If that's something you really want to do, I would love to do that. I think that would be great because we got a very similar style to it. Come up with a could be a really cool thing for you to dive into, honestly. Because Conformity Farm really does need to do some live action stuff. And I really want to do the Tim Robinson route, and some of my more contemporary creatives have decided to not really be funny as much as be cool. And like, I don't know, a lot of people gave up on comedy in the way that I think that comedy exists. In my opinion, what I define comedy as, they got old and boring, in my opinion. Yeah, I'll have time. You know, I'm off on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. So on Friday is a big Conformity Farm day for me. So maybe something later, but I'll hit you up regardless. Because it would just be continuous work for me. Because I don't want to hang out. I want to work, dude. I just want to get ish done. Like, I know I have to hang out a little bit so I don't lose my mind. But with the schedule and everything I got going on, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You're on the same kind of ish I am. All right, bro. Thanks for coming into the stream. Remember, it's Monday through Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Yeah, and I'm happy to have any chat at any time. And takes a little while to build things up, but I'll be here. And for everyone who is watching, thanks for checking us out. The old streams will be available on YouTube for now. You know, eventually I'll probably put them behind a paywall, the catalog. But for now, you can watch them on YouTube. So enjoy. And I think eventually I'm going to put a webcam up, but I don't know when I'm going to do that. I'm in Monday through Thursday. I am in the weeds. Dude, great stuff. Excited to see more. Thanks a lot, Poppington. What a gentleman. All right, everybody. Thanks for checking it out. Have a good evening. And